Forgiveness is not forgetting. Hello everyone, I am Stephen Sterling and welcome back to Map to Soul Daily, where practical psychology meets the timeless biblical wisdom to help you become the best version of yourself. Before we begin, I'd like to tell you something. If someone has disappointed you, if someone has hurt you, if someone has broken your trust, then I'm glad we are spending these few minutes together. Because today's conversation isn't about pretending the pain never happened, it's about finding freedom on the other side of it. So grab your coffee, your notebook, your pen, your app, and take a slow breath in. And gently breathe out. Let's spend a few minutes together. If we were sitting across from each other this morning, I'd ask you something that isn't easy. Is there someone you're still carrying? Not physically, but emotionally. Maybe someone who lied to you, maybe someone who walked away, maybe someone who never apologized, maybe someone who should have protected you, but didn't. You know what's interesting? Long after people leave our lives, they can still occupy our minds. They still steal our peace, and they still influence our mood. Sometimes they still control our future, even without knowing it. Can I tell you something I had to learn? Forgiveness isn't saying what you did was okay. It wasn't. Forgiveness isn't pretending it didn't hurt because it did. Forgiveness is choosing not to let someone else's actions keep controlling your life, and that's different. A famous quote, "Resentment is like drinking poison and then hoping it'll kill your enemies." Because bitterness almost never hurts the other person. It quietly hurts us. Modern psychology agrees. Research consistently shows that holding on to unresolved resentment can increase stress, anxiety, and emotional exhaustion. Not because we're bad people, but because our minds keep replaying the injury again and again and again. CBT encourages us to notice that it replays. Simply to ask, is replaying this helping me heal? And usually the answer is no. Then NLP asks a different question. Instead of asking, why did this happen to me? Ask, who do I want to become because this happened? That question changes everything. Let's take it in a biblical sense. One of my favorite stories in the Bible is that of Joseph. His own brothers betrayed him, sold him into slavery, and he lost years of his life because of their choices. If anyone had a reason to become bitter, it was Joseph. But years later, when he finally stood face to face with them again, he made a remarkable choice. He didn't deny the pain. He didn't pretend nothing had happened, but he refused to let hatred become his identity. That's one of the most courageous things a human being can do. That is a remarkable story of God's grace given to Joseph through the mistakes of his brothers. And Joseph knew that. Can I remind you of something today? Forgiveness doesn't always happen in one moment. Sometimes it's a decision you make. If it's a difficult decision, be quiet and pray and ask God for strength, courage, and guidance. Forgiveness is one hard decision to make, especially if it hurts you deeply. God gives us grace and mercy, and even though we did not deserve it, God gave it in any ways through the blood of Jesus. Forgiveness is something that we have to make. It's a decision that we have to take. Tomorrow, today, the next day. Healing is often a journey, it's not an event, and that's okay. You don't have to rush it, you simply have to keep walking. But can I remind you of something else? If nobody told you today yet, you are enough. And if nobody said it yet, you are deeply loved. even if someone failed to love you the way you deserved. Here's today's coffee question. What would change in your life if you stopped carrying someone who no longer walks beside you? Think about that. It's practical. Not because they don't deserve forgiveness, but because you deserve peace. And there's a time to take hold, and there's a time to let go. Forgiveness is the letting go part. Let's finish with today's daily reset. Take one slow breath in and hold it. And gently breathe it out. Again, breathe in and breathe out. Now quietly repeat these 3 sentences after me. I release what I cannot change. I choose peace over bitterness. Healing begins with one small step. Today's walk is simple. Continue today's journey inside the prayer wall in the Map to Soul app. You don't have to mention names. Simply write a prayer asking God to help you release one burden you've been carrying. And then, if you're ready, write one sentence in your journal beginning with these words. Today I choose freedom because. Before we finish, can I leave you with one thought? Forgiveness doesn't change the past, but it can completely change your future. Your story isn't over. You are enough and you are deeply loved. God is with you. And today, you took one more step toward freedom, and isn't that exciting? Isn't that amazing? That grace will follow you on your way, on your journey with each step you take. Remember, until next time, pray, then walk. You've got this. This is Stephen Sterling, and thank you for sharing a cup of coffee, some wisdom and a thought with me today. I'll see you in the next episode.